Life moves fast, but here we hit pause. Welcome to Foxtails, a place where chaos fades and stories take over. Join us as we explore books that transport us from fantastical realms, heart pounding mysteries, swoon worthy romance, to stories that make us feel those real life connections. I'm Danny.
And I'm Jess.
It's time to grab your favorite drink, find a quiet spot, let's turn the page and disappear for a while. Welcome back, everyone. This week we are covering The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. So, this is your one and only spoiler alert. We're going to be covering the book start to finish. If you have not read it, or if you haven't seen the adaptation movie, then it's your time to hit pause, maybe join us a little bit later. But we're going to be covering everything.
And I will say that this book has definite spoilers. So beware and be prepared. So if you really have not seen it or watched the movie and don't want the reveal of the twist at the end, put it on pause, go watch it or read it, and come back.
It's a good surprise, so, it's worth it to hang in there for the ending of your book if you're in the middle of reading it. Trust us.
For sure. Thinking of the book, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever been to somebody's house and seen something or heard something that just gave you a weird vibe from them? Like whether it's creepy or you're just like, something's not quite right here?
Ooh, I can't think of something off the top of my head, but I'm presuming since you asked, you have something.
I do.
Okay, let's hear
How would
it.
you have known? So a couple years ago, we were at a funeral for a family member, and we went to somebody's house, a celebration of life after the funeral. And when we were there, I was looking at their bookshelves because, I love books. And I think you can learn a lot about somebody when you look at the books that
Yes.
they've read.
Yes, you
And
can.
so I'm looking at their bookshelves, and they have a lot of stuff like history books, and they have encyclopedias or things like that. But at the very top of their bookshelf, there was a really big book with a Nazi symbol on it.
Shut up.
Yeah, I have
Oh
a
my
picture. I have a picture. I took a picture because
No.
I didn't want to say anything to my husband when we were at their house,
Oh, I would have.
but I took a picture so that I could talk to him about it later. And I don't know these people. These people were friends of the family. So it's not like family, so I couldn't ask family about the
Oh
history
my
there.
God.
But I was like, that is a big book with a Nazi symbol on it that makes me think there's something not quite right with these people.
Were they older? I mean, I'm presuming since you were
They
at a
were
funeral, they
they
were,
were
but
our parents' age group. So I
oh,
would
so
say
something.
they're probably in their 60s or 70s.
Did it have a name on the book or anything, or just the symbol?
It was, but it wasn't anything that I could read. And the picture I took, I was zooming in to try
Oh,
to get it, and I couldn't make it out. It's I'm guessing in German. It's in a
oh
different
my
language,
gosh!
and then so it has a title and then just the huge symbol on it.
And automatically, you're probably like, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, why would you display that? The thing is if you have something to hide, you hide it. They
Right.
obviously felt comfortable enough to display it.
That's true. Oh my gosh. But
Which that even gives me more of a, "What is wrong with you?"
what did your husband say?
He was like, "I
Like
don't
passive?
know."
You
Exactly.
know what? I hate that. Whenever you come back with an exciting story or some evidence that you've taken a photo of and you're like, "Oh my God." And you tell your significant other and then their level of excitement is just really low. You're like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll just text my sisters."
Right. Your family has known these people for years.
Right.
How do you not think that this is weird?
Yeah, that is definitely something weird that to run into in a home. I'm thinking now, and I remembered something. Remember when, way back when, we went with you in San Francisco to look at potential apartments
Oh,
when we
yes,
were in
yes.
college. I know you know where I'm going with this.
Mhm.
And we were in this house, and this lady was showing it around. It was in a beautiful area in San Francisco. It was not bad. And as we're looking at this home, she was saying that nobody else lived in this home. It would have just been, I think, you and her, right? If I'm getting this correct. This was a long
It
time
was
ago.
it was it was renting I was looking to rent a room when I was going to
Okay.
college,
Okay.
and I think the house was going to be used for college students, but nobody else had rented any of the rooms yet, so I was the first one looking.
Right. And we were kind of going through the house because of course mom came with us. She's checking out everything.
Of
and
course.
and we're looking and then we leave and I don't know who mentions it, but we say, did you hear footsteps above us when we were in the home?"
Yes.
And we were like, "Okay, let's wait and see if anybody like if there's another car parked, anybody's around." Nothing. Nada. Zip.
And it was on a top level. So San
Yes.
Francisco, you're built on top of
Yes.
each other. It
That's a
was the very top of the house. There
yes.
was nobody up there, and we heard footsteps up there, and even more creepy was when you walked into the house. Remember she had, like, this altar set up?
Oh, that's right. I
And it
forgot
wasn't
about
like
that.
it wasn't like during Dia de los Muertos and people have, like, an
Right.
altar to celebrate, it was not like that.
Yeah,
It
no, I
was it
remember.
was very different, and that was a creepy house.
So that is one now after you mentioned that story, I immediately flashed back to that of which places kind of gave me bad vibes. But that's the only real one I could think of. And we were a lot younger, so I know you probably remember it much more. But
Yes,
I know mom was like, that one's out. We're done.
like, there was not an option, like, you will
Yeah.
not apply for this place.
Yeah. Well, Millie, our character, doesn't have the best. She's one of our main characters in this book. She doesn't have the good character judgment. Let's just put it that way. In fact, she's broke, homeless, and recently out of jail. So that kind of sums up someone's character. I
Mhm.
guess. I guess we shouldn't judge that way, but anyway.
True.
Um, Millie's desperate for a job, and she at this point in her life is ready to take anything because she needs money. She needs somewhere to stay. It's not working out. Well, she accepts this job as a housemaid from a very rich couple. This couple, their names are Nina and Andrew. Nina is the matriarch of the house, and she seems actually very kind and welcoming at first, but has some, well, let's just say personality issues. I think that's the best way to label it right now.
Mhm.
And her husband, Andrew, he seems very kind and nice and kind of helps Nina through her emotional outburst and cleans up and is kind of just the, I guess, traditional money making husband of a rich couple. Then Cece, she is the daughter of Nina. It's very important to note that Cece is not the biological daughter of Andrew. However, Cece also, I could say, has personality flaws, which she's just a little bit of a brat, so boiled
Yeah.
brat, and there's reasons for that, but we'll get into it. So I think it's time to get started.
Let's start from the very beginning. So we know that Millie is on parole. She's living out of her car, and she applies for this job for the Winchesters, which already, growing up in California, the name Winchester gives me just like, hey, whoa, stop there.
Big warning vibe. This is our plug for anybody who hasn't seen the Winchester house. Go check it out. Way cool.
They are also a little bit creepy.
Yes.
So, or the lady.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's working for the Winchesters, and shows up for her first day of work, and Nina is giving her a tour of the house, showing her around and also showing her where her room is going to be. So, pretty cool. She has a job. She also has free housing. Seems like a pretty good gig for somebody who's straight out of jail. And she finds out that she has a room in the attic that locks from the outside and a window that does not open.
Let's just hit pause real quick. If you saw that, wouldn't you automatically, no matter how desperate you're, be like, thanks, but no thanks?
Yes. So here are some things that gave me just like this red flag to begin with. One is the door, obviously, that locks only from the outside.
Yeah.
Major issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first red flag. The second, the window For me, it's not the fact that it doesn't open, is I'm thinking I'm in the attic and it
Hot.
could be hot. I
Yeah.
need fresh air and possibly an air conditioner.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
that would be my second. The fact that it doesn't open, okay, yes, windows stick, especially on like houses or somebody does a bad job painting or something like that.
Mhm.
But the fact that I might suffocate in the middle of the night because it's so damn hot, that is that bothers me.
Okay, suffocate.
Suffocate.
Okay, let's move on.
I get really, really hot when I sleep. I'm one of those people. So if it's like even like a tad warm, I'm miserable all night. So
Jess sleeps with air conditioning and a fan, and I know her and her husband each have their own personal fans.
no, we don't.
You used to?
Okay, well, we don't anymore.
Okay, so
But air air conditioning and fan year round. Yes, during the winter too.
oh,
Yes.
oh, wow. Okay, that's a problem. Well,
I know. Like I said.
contributing to our environment issues. Thank you very much.
Yep. Sorry. I love the environment. We talked about this. We don't need to go there.
Clearly not that much.
Anyway, on her first day, she also meets a landscaper, Enzo, who plays a pretty big role in this book and movie.
Mhm.
He doesn't speak English very well, but he does seem to warn Millie about the Winchesters. And after all those red flags, she still is keeps going. And I think it's probably because she really doesn't have another option. Like
Just
this is what she
desperate.
has to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it starts off right away. So she spends her first night there. She tells Nina about the door, and Nina's like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll get you a key. Not a big deal. It's so silly of me to forget to get you a key." But the next day she walks down to the kitchen and sees Nina throwing a complete fit. Dishes on the floor, milk all over the floor. I remember that part
Yes.
because if you've ever dropped like a water or liquid, it is the worst mess in the entire world to pick up.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, "Oh my god, milk." And if she even misses like the smallest amount of milk, it's going to be smelling for days and
Yes.
you're not going to know where it's coming from. Anyway, she's throwing a fit and accusing Millie of throwing out her PTA notes. So she's a PTA mom. She probably runs the whole thing. And throwing out her notes is a big deal because she can't go prepared to this meeting. Well, Andrew notices what is going on and steps in and saves the day. He calms down Nina, assures her like, it's okay. You will get through this PTA meeting without your notes. It's gonna be fine.
I love that this is what causes the meltdown is PTA meeting notes. Now, we're not making fun of any of you who are part of the PTA, but honestly.
Okay, there is different levels of PTA. I have worked in a couple different schools.
Oh, that's right. Jess has a good perspective on this because she's a teacher. Tell us about the
There
PTA.
is there is the PTA that is run by one person who has an
Mm,
agenda and a plan, and I feel like that is Nina's PTA, is just
okay.
like they rule the school, and
The Mean Girls Club.
they really do. Is when, and this was during my student teaching, and there was just this parent who did not like the camp that the kids were going to go to, and she threw a fit and
Oh.
she did everything. She insisted that her and the teacher, on the teacher's time, go to drive to where this camp is. It was about an hour away so that she could see it because she did not like the fact that they changed it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. And
s-
did the teacher actually go and do that?
she did. And
Oh,
I
she's
don't know why she did.
I'll say she's nicer than I am. I'd be like, "Lady, you can go drive yourself up there."
Exactly.
I'm
Like,
not
drive
going
your
with
ass
you.
up there and go stay the night in the cabin. I'm not going to go with you.
Can you imagine what that ride there and back was like?
No.
Yeah, no. No,
No.
thank you.
I
No,
I
thank
can't.
you.
So there is that level of PTA, and when I hear PTA, I just that's the thing I think of, especially like this part. But then there's the like parent teacher collaboration PTA. And I've worked at a school that's done that and it is great. And those are fabulous parents to work for. And they work with you and they collaborate with you, and those are the ones that like those were the first parents that like when we went on a field trip, I messaged them and was like, "Hey, can you? And before I ever sent out the notice of we need chaperones, it was, hey, can you chaperone? Because I know you're amazing.
Oh, well,
Be
that's good.
be that PTA.
Yeah, well, I mean, some aren't so lucky. This is why our mom never joined any PTA. She would have driven everyone away. Love you, Mom, if you're listening.
Yes.
Well, we have a series of events that follow Nina's little outburst, and it's just kind of proving and solidifying the fact that she has some sort of psychological issue. We also come to realize that she has a variety of medications that she has stored in her cabinets and has spent some time in a psychiatric facility for drugging and attempting to drown her daughter, followed by an attempt to, off herself. I think that's the term we have to use, correct?
Yes.
And through all of Nina's tantrums, Andrew seems to always be there, always save the day like he did during the huge PTA meltdown. And through these outbursts, it forms a relationship between Millie and Andrew because they're both having to deal with these repercussions of Nina's fits. Well, Nina, she's also trying to get pregnant because her and Andrew have this idea that having somebody else added to their family is the right move. Well, Nina finds out that she can't have kids, which is something that is really devastating to Andrew.
I think this is really important in the storyline because again, Cece isn't Andrew's daughter.
Right.
And so for him, having that family is really important. Now he takes care of Cece. He's there, he picks her up from school, he spends time with her, he knows what
Mm-hmm.
she likes and doesn't like, but at the same time, she's not his daughter. And I think for him, it's important to have his own blood. Um,
Yes.
and so the fact that Nina can't have kids is a really big deal for him.
Yes, and they find this after they go to a doctor, and the doctor tells them, "Sorry, you're not going to be able to have any kids," which escalates, some of the mood issues that we
Mhm.
have experienced thus far in the book. Well, Nina thinks, "How can I make this better?" So she creates a plan to take Andrew out on to a fancy show and stay in a hotel in New York City, just to kind of lighten the mood and make everything feel better, I guess, after getting some devastating news. Well, of course, this doesn't come at a cost because Nina makes another, quote, mistake. She had told Millie to book tickets to this event on a certain weekend. Well, Millie did as she was instructed, and Nina comes back without lashing out at Millie, saying she's not going to even be in town that weekend. Why did you book something that weekend? That's the weekend we're taking Cece to summer camp. And this makes Millie like absolutely insane. She's like, "Are you kidding me? I did exactly as I was instructed, but clearly this is something to do with your psychosis." She's really confused. Like, what is going on? You literally just told me to book this.
Right. I think I just get the feeling throughout this entire book, there's just like a lot of gaslighting going on
Yes.
where Nina is saying one thing and Millie follows that and then she changes it
Mm-hmm.
and then makes it seem like Millie's making the mistake. So I think at this time Millie is also second guessing herself and
Yes.
wondering like did I actually hear it wrong? Did I actually do something wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Because there was also an incident earlier in the book where she was told to pick up Cece and then at the same time was like, "Well, why are you picking up my daughter? She doesn't even need to be picked up."
Yes. And I think that Millie is just trying to do everything she can to keep the job.
Right.
So she just wants to even to deal with the crazy, it's better for her than to be living in her car again. So she does all these things and just kind of accepts blame for some stuff. And I at this point, Millie knows that Andrew knows that all of this is caused by Nina. So I think that she understands that she's not going to get fired because Andrew kind of runs the house and Nina is just kind of the person who orders people around. So
Right.
I think ultimately she knows she's not going to get fired. The only thing is that these show tickets that, she made a quote mistake on, these are non-refundable tickets, and it's a big expense.
I'm thinking this is probably like a really big show, like in New York City. You've been to a Broadway play,
Oh,
yes?
yeah.
Okay. So you stand in line to get these
Mhm.
tickets, and I'm thinking this is like Hamilton level. And
Yeah.
at that time they were impossible to get. It
Mhm.
was a show that everyone wanted to go to.
Mhm.
And so of course you're not going to get your money back on these tickets. Maybe you can try to resell them. But also it's just like a really sad mistake because I remember when we were supposed to go to see Hamilton. Now
I
this wasn't in New
know.
York City. It
No.
was it was at it was a big city, but not New York. And we could not go, and I still haven't seen it yet.
Me neither, but it's a goal. We're gonna go see it one day.
One day.
But Nina, she ends up saying, "You know what? You made the mistake. Whatever. I'm still going out of town to take my daughter to her camp." Which, I mean, I
Me,
don't really understand why she needs to be the one driver. She has like a crap ton of money. So, but
that's true.
like,
Have
why
Millie
is
drive her to camp.
yes, exactly. But clearly she feels I think this is a flaw in the storyline. Just we'll circle back to that, but I think might be a little bit of a flaw in the storyline. But Andrew offers Millie the tickets. Says, "Hey, you know what? It's all right. No big deal. Why don't you take these tickets and take a friend and just go and enjoy New York City?" Problem is, Millie has no friends. And Andrew, of course, is there to save the day yet again and offers to take her. I mean, what could go wrong with that plan?
Do you think that was his agenda all along? Do you think
No.
he was hoping she didn't have friends?
Well, I mean, maybe, but I think on a certain level, he might be a little bit freaked out by Nina's like craziness. I don't know. I wouldn't venture down that road. It's just like you don't mess with crazy. Just let it
This
be.
is true. This is true. So he offers her the tickets. I mean, what could go wrong? Right? Let's go see a movie or see a movie. See a show in the city, have a nice dinner. Nothing bad can happen from that. Well, actually, a lot bad could happen from that
Bad, bad, bad.
because because we could see the show, we could go out to a nice dinner, get drunk, not be able to drive back home, end up staying in a hotel, stuff gets steamy, and then try to make it home the next day before Nina does.
There's a big problem with that though, because Nina's kind of outsmarted this whole thing. And we find out that Nina has actually been tracking Millie's phone all along. And once she figures out, all this happened, of course, we have another meltdown and a freak out moment. But Nina, through this whole debacle, I mean, we're skipping over some steps.
Okay,
She,
I want to pause really a second.
uh huh.
I think rightfully so,
Oh, yeah.
she is freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, she is a special level of crazy. But at the same time, she has figured out that her husband and her housemaid have spent the night in the city together.
No,
So, rightfully so upset.
yes. Yes, this leads to more intense tracking, which you'll read that in the book and you'll see a different adaptation in the movie of what happened there.
Mhm.
But ultimately, what ends up happening is Nina ends up getting kicked out of the house. And this is crazy to me because if this happened in my situation, in my universe, where I came back and my housemaid had gone out to dinner with my husband, slept with him, and then came back trying to still act as my housemaid, I'm not the one leaving the house.
No,
I'm,
no, the
are you
guy's
kidding
the
me?
guy's gone, she's fired. Right?
Right,
It seems
right.
pretty simple. Like you probably wouldn't even be able to get back in the house because the moment that I
Oh, yeah.
saw that, I don't know.
Hmm.
The phone tracking thing, I if I found out, then you would not be able to enter the house. The locks would have already been changed. Your stuff would already be at the front door.
It would just be caught on fire. All of us would be having a little bonfire in the backyard.
That's true. I would call all the sisters over. Mom would join too, because
Oh,
guarantee
yeah.
she'd be like, "Hell yes, I'm there. Let's burn it all."
She would. In fact, we might have to go find mom because she would have already been hunting down the husband. She-
Mom and Granny would be in the car
oh
hunting down the
yeah,
husband because Grandma would be in on this too.
grandma would like summon some spirit to come find
Sweetie, we don't have to follow them. I got it.
I really hope Mom listens to this episode because apparently we're featuring her a lot in this crazy. You know what's terrible is it's about a psychotic woman and like her circumstances, and this is when Mom comes up.
This is just us calling on Mom for help, and she'd be like, "Let me help you."
Well, we've transitioned now into a different portion of the book where let's just kind of take it to Nina's point of view. This sheds some light on Nina's behavior and what's really going on. Nina had a very terrible past, and she became the person that she is because of this past. She ended up getting pregnant and had to drop out of college. She found a job at Andrew's company, and of course, Andrew's there to come to the rescue to marry her, save her with this, as a single mom, and kind of just give her the married life that, she dreamt to have. And this is when the new level of crazy sets in. She thinks she's living this beautiful, perfect life. She has a rich husband. She now has a father for her kid. Like all these things are lining up like, whew, man, I
Right?
hit the jackpot.
He saves the day. Andrew comes in and saves the day
Uh-huh.
for troubled women.
And yeah. Okay, this is right here. A man does not come in to save a troubled woman. Let's just throw that out there. You need to save yourselves. Like it's not this is
Absolutely.
a very big red flag. If this is happening for you, run the opposite direction. But she ends up, we're human. We make some mistakes, but she's punished by Andrew for really crazy mistakes. And when we say punish, we don't mean light punishments. The one I'm thinking of is where she has to pull out her strands of hair and put them in an envelope. And
Oh, yeah.
she does this, by the way, she does this all while being locked in the attic and not able to come out. So she has to do these crazy requests of Andrew that equate her punishment. And that hair thing was a punishment because her roots were showing.
Right. That is God, I don't even know because I'd be punished all the time.
We would this just a little bit crazy to me that she has to go along with this because at this point, I mean, I've already set the house on fire. I'm scared. Like if this had been like kept on going on, there's no way I would have put up with it. Not even once.
Absolutely. And it just makes me wonder because there are people out there who do stick through this kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and there has to be something that makes them feel like they can't go anywhere else or that they will be followed or something, because we
Mm-hmm.
do have to understand that Andrew has a lot more resources at his disposal than Nina does. The
This
moment she
yes.
leaves, she has nothing. It's
Right.
her and her daughter. She doesn't have the money. She doesn't have anywhere to go because she doesn't have family. So it really is, she's stuck in this situation where she has to put up with this guy because she has no other option. And women out there, there are other options.
Unfortunately, Nina feels stuck.
Mhm.
But Enzo, the landscaper, who we've kind of briefly mentioned but haven't really gone into, he knows what's going on and he knows what's happening. And he realizes, though, that he can't just stop, like, just come in and stop everything that's going on. Because if he does, it would be bad for him, bad for Nina, and bad for Cece.
Right. I think that there is a lot of power in this family that we don't quite understand.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there's money, and with money comes power, unfortunately. That's not a good thing. And so they understand, Nina and Enzo understand that it's not something that can just be stopped, because I think they both feel like there's going to be repercussions that they just can't escape it.
Mm-hmm.
So he steps in, they figure out a plan that in order to safely ditch this guy, he has to leave her.
And he, meaning
Andrew,
Andrew.
has to
Yes.
feel like it's his idea to leave.
This reminds me a little bit of the My Big Fat Greek Wedding when she says how the woman is the neck.
Mhm.
Like they have to devise a plan to trick him
Yes.
into thinking it was his
Yes.
plan all along. This is
Yes.
exactly
That's
what Nina is doing.
yep. Good
Which
one.
and this leads us to part 3.
We have Millie locked in a room, and Andrew is telling her that she needs to stack books on her stomach for a certain amount of time before she can get out. So, this is the level of crazy that this is her punishment. And Millie does it. At first, she's like, "This is a joke. You've got to be kidding me. Just let me out of here. Stop playing games. Let's go take a nap. Get back to normal." But she realizes that she has to do this in order to get out.
Mhm.
And so Millie does it. She's not the type to just take it and continue on with life. So he has messed with the wrong person.
Which
And
I
she,
I love because at this point Nina's gone. Nina's long gone. It's just Andrew and Millie in the house at this point, and she's kind of living out this fairy tale life, just like Nina was.
mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, she's getting punished for something. She's locked in her attic, and she's having to do all the crazy things that Nina used to have to do, but different punishments, of course, because Andrew's creative.
I just can't. It is the fact that he started off being like, wow, he's such a good guy,
Oh, I know.
to being like, he is absolutely insane.
Yes.
It just was such a turn. It just threw me back. She devises a plan to get back. So
Hmm.
she's like, I'm going to do this so that I can get out and get back at you. So she's able to get out. She follows his thing. She has to actually do the book stacking a couple times in order to follow Andrew's terms of escape. And she is able to get Andrew in the room and lock him in there. And this is where the book takes an amazing turn.
Yes, and I love that she uses the books again against him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Oh, okay, so let's just turn this up a little bit of a notch." Like, she is now Millie's into it. She's like, "You wanna play torture? Let's play torture."
Let's do it.
And she's all about the games. So, she has her own terms that Andrew has to, abide by. And I love her. Okay, the teeth pulling. Let's just go there.
Oh,
So
yes.
he's, of course, banging his body against the wall, trying to get out. Let me out,
I
just
think
like
it's
she was.
well, the thing is it's immediate in the book.
Right,
It's like the
right.
moment he gets locked in, he is just like, "Get me out of here," throwing his body against the wall. Like,
Yes,
you lasted 2 seconds.
right, right. Well, he's like flabbergasted that this has turned around on him. And you're like,
Mhm.
dude, karma's kind of a bitch. She'll come back for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
But anyway, Millie, one of her creative we're gonna call them terms. Creative terms is for
Mhm.
him to pull his teeth, and which there's a camera in the room. We know this too, and Millie has no shame. She's watching this happen. This is an exciting, thrilling movie for her.
It is, and I just this part was like it hurt me
I
to
know.
read it
My
because
teeth hurt
I
now.
yes, I don't like going to the dentist.
Mhm.
I do so that I don't have to deal with cavities and things like that. But the fact of like pulling my
Mm-mm.
own tooth out. Have you seen oh my god, Castaway?
Yes.
Okay, where he has to like knock his
Yeah.
tooth out. So I'm just like reliving that part
Ugh.
in my mind with
Ugh.
him like with the pliers and like
Uh-huh.
I couldn't do it. I don't think I could do it. I'd be like, I'll just die in here. I can't.
Well, honestly, of all the things she could think of, that's pretty gruesome. The teeth
Oh,
pulling
yeah.
is gruesome. I mean, there's a lot worse that could be done, I guess, but to do it to yourself, that's terrible. We all know when we have to pull teeth when we're younger, it's a pretty horrific event. Unless you're Jess, because Jess is a freak and liked to pull our teeth as
I
kids.
did, which is weird because I actually like, I hate the dentist, but when it came to loose teeth, the moment I had a loose
Oh
tooth, I was like,
God,
"Oh, it's out.
you're
It just
just
became loose yesterday, but here it is."
you're disgusting. You're crazy too. Well, I also love that Millie uses the same verbiage that Andrew was using on her and Nina, which
Yep.
is, I'll let you out, just not yet. And she just totally plays into this game, takes on the role, and she is there. Well, during this torturing, Nina shows up at the house to help Millie because maybe she had some sort of epiphany. Hey, I should go back to the house to help Millie. Now, we know at this point Nina has devised this plan. We've hired Millie. Everything is very strategic. But I guess as a reader, you're still kind of wondering, well, is she still a little bit unhinged or was this all an act? Because you're not quite sure at this point. You know that there was a strategy and there was a plan, but I mean, she did go to a psych ward. Like, how are we still dealing with crazy or are we
Right.
not? But she shows up to the house to help Millie out. And that's when we find out that Andrew has died in the room.
I
He's dead.
love it that yeah, she shows up and it's like, "Oh, yeah, he's dead up there. He's done
Gone.
dehydrated, bled himself to death, pulling out all his teeth."
It's taken care of. But they now have to devise a plan because they have to contact the police. Like, something has to happen here. We can't just leave a dead body in the attic.
Yeah, that's somebody would notice at some point that Andrew
Especially
didn't show up to work or something.
especially since Nina was already kind of labeled as crazy, right? So we have to come up with
True.
something. But
True.
Nina, honestly, at this point, this is when we know that Nina's, I think, psychosis was kind of an act because she tells Millie, like, get out of here. Like, don't be
Mhm.
here when the police are here. You need to go. I'll handle it. And I think Millie's like, oh my gosh, are you sure? I'm the one who killed them. And also, one key point, which is we're forgetting, but we understand at this point now in the book that Millie has gone to prison because she's killed somebody. But
Mhm.
it's for good reason. And it's not, she just went out cold blooded, killing somebody, but she was helping a friend who was in distress and it
Right.
resulted in a killing. And so she's done this before. She's no stranger to the dead.
This is true. This is true. And really, Nina really does show up to help. She did not have the intention of helping at all. Her plan was escape and don't look back. I
Mm-hmm.
think her conversations with Enzo, because she did go to Enzo's house, and he was like, "You can't do this to another person.
Right.
You
Right.
can't, as much as you wanted to escape, you can't put somebody else in that situation." And she did understand that. And I think it was when she came back like a relief to be like, "Oh, he's dead. Okay. Okay. I could work with this. Let's try
Right.
to figure this out."
Right. This is the least of my worries at this point because he's already gone.
Exactly. He can't do anything. I just have to
Right.
figure out how to get by. So when the police show up, they mention the missing teeth, the bruises on Andrew, and not necessarily showing that he locked himself in the attic because that was what her idea was is, oh, he accidentally got locked in the attic. And the police were like, well, there's some other stuff that's not quite right. And when she was having this sit down conversation with the officer, she realized that the officer's daughter, he mentioned it, his daughter was the ex fiance of Andrew. And when she left Andrew, things were never the same for her.
Mm-hmm.
And something did not sit right with the officer. And so noting, he made the note that, oh, this must have been like a super tragic end because he was locked in the attic, not mentioning his missing teeth, not mentioning the fact that there were bruises, just like, bummer, he accidentally got locked in the attic. Darn, sad death, very different than the movie.
Yes.
So he did like they did devise this plan that he was locked in the attic. Then we go to the funeral and we realize that there's no repercussions for what happened. The officer stayed true to his word. Death was just accidental. Everyone is able to move on. But this ending of the book was the best thing that could have happened because Andrew's mom states she's talking about how she like the person had told her that he was missing teeth and all those things, but she doesn't say anything. I think in Nina's mind she's like, "Oh my god, she's going to figure it out. I'm going to go to jail."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But mom was like, "If you don't take care of your teeth, then you lose the privilege to have teeth."
Woo, Mama Winchester.
I was like, "Oh my god, this is where it started."
Yes, yes. Andrew has the apple has not fallen far from the tree, as they say, and he is just like Mama Winchester, or
She
was.
doesn't even care that her son is dead, just like,
No.
"Well, he must have deserved it."
Bad teeth, repercussions. Okay. How do you feel book compared to movie?
I think it was pretty accurate
Yes.
and stayed pretty true to the story. The movie wasn't bad. I didn't love it,
Mm-hmm.
but the movie it wasn't bad. There were some differences in like the character visualization. Like we've said before, I don't like
Yes.
to know anything about the movie prior to me reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, Nina has gained significant weight because she's trying to lose Andrew's interest and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Amanda Seyfried, oh, I don't know how to say her name.
I would say it that way. That's
Okay.
yeah.
She's definitely not the chubby
No.
Nina that we read in the book.
No.
Um, but other than little details like that, I think it was pretty on point to the book. What are your thoughts?
Um, I that was one major difference. Another major difference was, of course, the death of Andrew. I kind
Mhm.
of liked how they did a different twist on what caused Millie to go inside of the attic with her breaking Mama Winchester's pin
Yeah.
set. I thought that was a good way to incorporate uh, the senior Mrs. Winchester because she does have a role in the book and she is involved in taking care of Cece through Nina's episodes and everything. And they didn't have a really good way of, I think, doing that in the movie. So they involved her by, her gifting this present and it made her kind of known. And you could tell by her character that uh I think they actually casted her. I don't know who the actress is, but I think that
Elizabeth
was
Perkins.
oh, yeah, okay, but I think that she was casted well in that role.
Absolutely. She did a great job.
Yeah, so I liked her in that role, I should have known that. I should have known who that was. I don't know why that whatever.
It's okay.
But,
We all forgive you.
so I think that there was some differences. I think that the movie lasted a long time, but didn't cover very much. Is that
True.
fair? So the
True. There were
movie
a lot of small details, and I
yes.
think you lose Nina's level of crazy in
Yes.
it, where it's like, okay, yeah, she's a little bit strange, a little bit out there, but in the book, she is really, really out
Yeah,
there.
she's crazy. Like you're thinking in the book the whole time, "Oh, Nina for sure is the one who's doing all this." Like when Millie gets locked, you're like, "It's Nina," and you're very shocked to find out that Andrew's the one who's doing all this.
Right.
And I think that they spent a lot of time on the love story of Millie and Andrew, which was a storyline in there, but that wasn't the main storyline for me. The main storyline was how, like you said, how crazy Nina actually is. And I felt like they did a good job replaying some of her psychotic episodes, but
Mhm.
not to the extent of where you really believed the psychosis. So I think that all along you knew something was going on from start to finish, but for Millie, it had to really lead up to it.
Right. And there were details that they followed in the book that were important to the book, but we really didn't get the background in the movie, such
Hmm.
as Nina always wore white.
Right.
And there was a reason why, is because Andrew made that happen. She had to wear white cuz and then you realize, "Oh, Mama Winchester is also always wearing white."
Right. Well, and then same thing with Cece and her
Mhm.
clothing, how she wears weird clothes. They did that in the movie. She does wear clothes that aren't normal to the other kids around her, but that's because Andrew wants her dressed a certain way as well. And
I think that's where it is the
mhm,
disconnect
mhm,
is okay, we realize that Andrew's the bad guy, but
mhm,
I don't think we realize how bad he was
right,
because he's the one who initiated the psychotic episode.
right.
He's the one who put Cece in a tub and like possibly could have drowned her.
Mhm.
And so yes, it is addressed in the movie, but the book does such a better
It
job
does.
at explaining everybody's point of view. Um, so yeah, it was a good movie, it was a good book.
I think for book, I would give it at least an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a very good book. And movie-wise, I'm gonna hit in the like 6 to 7 range for the movie because it wasn't terrible. It's not like No Exit. That was terrible,
Mhm.
but it wasn't fabulous.
I 100% agree with you. The book I was able to read super fast. I
Yeah.
would definitely it was a good level of mystery, and it was that twist just made everything change for me. So yes,
Mhm.
I agree 8 and then movie 6.5.
Okay. At least we're on the same page with this one. I think that's good.
Well, I loved that read, and I am super excited for our next one, which I have already started and already am 100% invested. This is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Mhm.
There is the book, and there is also a TV show. I have not watched the TV show yet, but I will by next time we talk.
Same. I've started it, and if you haven't heard the audio version, do the audio version. So good so far.
Oh, 100%. I did the
Mhm.
audio because I read that it is one of the best audiobooks to
It
read right
is.
now,
It
and it
is.
is 1,000,000% get the audio, and it's actually free on Spotify.
Mhm.
So,
I'm
read it on
captivated. I hope you guys like this. I hope we like it. I hope the ending is great, but we'll find out next time.
we'll find out. It's great. So, again, Daisy Jones and the Six, Taylor Jenkins Reid. As we close today's chapter, remember this: whether you are escaping for comfort, courage, or just a little quiet, books are always waiting for us. So until next time, keep turning those pages and don't forget to like, subscribe, all those things. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm Jess,
And I'm Danny.
and this is Foxtails.